I've been solo racing since 2009 and always with the end goal of the Vendee Globe in sight. And every year I kind of progress through the ranks. I work my way up through international classes until I got to a practical level, until I felt I was ready to take on the Vendee Globe. But that final step of finding an IMOCA class boat to either buy or charter and actually entering the race kind of seemed really impossible, especially when I looked at everybody else and the way they were doing it. All these pristine teams, immaculately funded from the beginning, you know, teams with 20 to 30 professionals in them, funding of up to 20 million over a 4-year campaign. And I just thought, how am I ever going to make that work? You know, how am I ever going to find a sponsor when I don't have a campaign for them to sponsor? And then I think, you know, I realised I couldn't do it like everyone else. That wasn't going to be my path, and I had to dare to be different. So when Super Bigu became available to charter, I realised that probably was my last opportunity to get involved with the race, and I took the leap to charter her. The fee was €2,000 a month. I had no sponsor, no backing, no team. I'd never sailed an IMOCA before. I couldn't have been more different than the people I was lining up against. But I took out a £25,000 bank loan. I started a crowdfund, and I thought that would get me through the first 3 months, and then I would just have to work and work and work month by month to run the team on my own, to be a one-woman team, to raise the money month by month, to enter all of the qualification races, to keep the boat working, to get it measured, to get the safety kit that I needed. And I would just carry everything on my back as far as I could, in the belief that if I demonstrated to everybody else that I was competent and I was dedicated and I was working hard, that then other people would join me. And they did. And it was hard. It was hard turning up to races feeling like a total outsider. You know, the first race I ever turned up to, I was supported by 2 young people who had contacted me because they'd read about what I was doing on social media, and I didn't really know them at all, and they came to help me get the boat ready for the start, and we were lining up against these massively professional teams, and it did feel like we shouldn't be there a lot of the time. But once we were on the water, every single time I started a race, I got the chance to demonstrate what I was capable of in a down at heel boat with no money and no team, and the fact that I finished all the races, I felt demonstrated that I had potential, and it grew, and I was so surprised of the way it grew and how people loved reading about what we were doing and started supporting me, and ultimately it was the support of all of those early people who donated to the crowdfund, who helped me out practically, all those early sponsors who came on board. They carried me far enough so that Medallia could finally see the opportunity and get involved as title sponsorship. It was a different path, but it was my path, and I'm proud of it.